So let's take a nice breath in. Reach out through the center of your palms. Feel how expansive you are. Good. Yeah. And what I mean is reach out through the center of your palms, really think of an energy line coming all the way down and out through all those fingers, right? Really spread that space open. Yes. Oh, good. And don't even worry yet about where your hips are, what your feet are doing. Just open this up. Unleash your thumb, right? So a lot of us will hold it unconsciously like this. Let that space open. Yeah. Undo that too. Good. That's it. Good. And one more. We're going to take those arms, hold them up and out. So not all the way up. They're going to open out to the side. And you can see that I have a spinal extension here. I'm going to pull my abs in. And then as if I wanted to dive into the water, pull my arms back. And then lift myself back upright. So again, exhale is like a bow. But we're just drawing the arms back, a little more shoulder girdle engaged than normal. And then into bow. Good. Yeah, little dive, little swan dive moment, just with a bow. Good. And last one, drawing those abs up. Good. And then sweep those arms down and up and forward. Do, 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 do. That's it, good. And pull it out nice and wide. Good. Now come back into that bow. Good. And then as you come up, sweep those arms down and forward and up and out. Good. And one more time into that bow. Good. And up and forward. Yeah. I know. Shoulders waking up, huh? Open them into goalposts this time. Good. Now push your goalpost up like wide open heaven like a pillar, right? Like we push up heaven like a pillar. Now we're just pushing up wide. Good. Pull it back down in. Pull the ribs in. Good. And press up. Good. And pull it in. And press. Good. And pull one more time. That's it. Good. And push. Take those hands, press out to the side, palms facing away from you. Good. Push them away. Good. And then fold your hands under so you can see my hands. Good. And then press your hands back out. And fold them under. And push the palm up. Try to bring your fingertip back towards your face. Good. 2 more times. Under. Pull, 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 pull. Good. And one more. And oddly, those of us who tend to get your thumb stuck here will feel that stretch if you can keep it in place all the way up through here. Or maybe not oddly, but I just think it's fascinating. Right, so just like your feet affect your hips, what you do with your hand will eventually start to affect your neck and shoulders, right? And vice versa. So yeah, yes, we want all that mobility. I love everybody checking it out like, oh yes, that's good. So let's find our way. We're gonna find our feet. I've opened into parallel. Good. And I want you to lift all your toes, put your 4 toes down, and then put your big toe down. And then again, lift all your toes up. 4 outside toes come down. Come on, go down. And then big toes come down. Okay, now here we're gonna neutral hinge forward, and hopefully we might be able to reach our toes. You're gonna do it again. Put your fingers on the inside of your big toe, put the 4 toes down, and then push against your finger as you set the toe down. Yeah, good. And then lift all your toes up, right? All the toes up, 4 toes down. Push against that big toe as it comes down. Good. And I want you to see if you can push your toes to your finger more than your finger is pushing on your toes, right? You want your big toe to create that force. So what are we doing here? Why are we doing this, Mona? We're trying to keep the tendons and muscles strong that prevent us from deepening any bunion tendencies, right? So if you have a bunion already, if you're sliding toward bunion territory, this will help get that strength. You should feel the inner line of your arch lift. And even if you don't have a bunion, that is really beautiful for helping this line of that arch lift up and engage. Yeah? Good. All right. So if you've done at least 4 of those, then you can round yourself all the way back up. Good. Reach out one more time. Feel that energy all the way through those hands. Thumbs, middle fingers. Open up your thumb. Open up that space on your left thumb. Yeah. So and I mean not just by pulling the thumb back. I'm going to show you another version. Right. Some of you will pull this guy back, but look what you've done here. I want that to open. There's a couple of muscles right here, and we want this one to stretch open so you can have a better grip over time. Yeah? I know, computer hands, no good for us. Phone hands, no good for us. All right, we are gonna take those arms up to the sky. Good, and we're going to round down, zoop, 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 in through our bow into a roll down. Lift your tail up at the bottom and lift your chest, and then scoop your belly in, press into your feet, round your way back up. Good. And then inhale and exhale. Back down. Eyes up to your pubic bone. Good. And then lift the chest, lift the tail. And then round back in. Good. Good. And then when you get to the top of this one, add a little releve. Keep your legs as straight as can be. Pull up your kneecaps and see if you can come straight up instead of pitching forward. Good. Then lower your heels and round your way back down. That's it, all the way up. A nice straight line up. Find your heels, find your glutes, let them lift you up. Good. And down, good. We'll do one more time, down, up, and then down. Yep, and then we'll walk our hands out to our plank. So down, up, down. That's it. Good. Actually, let me take my... So when you walk out to that plank, you're welcome to drop to your knees. We're going to be doing a nice little bit of walkouts, walk-ins. So once you get down there, we're going to walk back in, bending the knees, pushing your mat away. And then until you're hopefully upright. Then I want you to push your heels down until you're in a squat. Good. Lift your heels up to where you can lower back to the ground and walk back out to your plank. If you would like assistance on this one, please feel free to grab something nearby and let it help you with this transition moment. So something firm that you could push on while you get your heels down. Good. If you're feeling knee ache, I really want you to use something for assistance, because this is probably what's happening to you. When you're here in this moment, right, and I'm asking you to push your heels down, you might be pushing forward and bending backwards. Instead, I want you to lift your tail back, right? So do not let the knees fall more forward. Your booty should be going back as you get your heels down. Does that make sense? So squat. So can you walk back to this position, Nara? Okay, so don't do it. Yeah, but can you come to here in a plank? If you can come to here and start walking back, only go as far as you feel like you can. Same thing with Franny and your knee. Only go as far as you can. Shelly, my friend Shelly. Sometimes I just want to crawl through my screen and give you a hug, Shelly. That goes for all of you at one time or another. There's usually some point where I just want to just wrap you up. Good. Good. All right. So you've probably gotten at least 4 good ones, maybe 5 or 6. If that's you, you can come back out to your plank and just hold it for a moment. Drop your hips down, let your chest lift, but you're going to try to keep your knees off your mat. And then scoop your pubic bone in till you're back in your plank. You can do the same thing from your knees. Totally. It becomes down stretch, right? Dropping your hips down and then scoop your belly in till you're back on your knees in your little plank. Yes? Just a small motion. Just waking up that low belly. So good. And then, Eloise, see if you can use less of your hip flexors and more of the space between your belly button and rib. So less from here to here and more from here to here to pull you back up. Yes. Yeah, no, so don't even go that high. Don't even go that high. Now pull your ribs in more. That's it. Lovely. Good. Woo. That's nice. Good. Good. Everyone feel like you got 4 good ones that your body understood? If that's you, then you can come on to your popo and swing it on around. Good. And then we'll lay that all the way down on your mat. We're going to take the hands right behind the head and just breathe there from a nice big breath in. Good. And we're going to take a quick second for our parasympathetic nervous system. And when you inhale, and as you exhale, let your eyes turn to your right, but you feel your head. You're going to keep your head straight. And you're going to hold your head, your eyes to the right, until you feel like you're going to swallow, or you might feel like you're going to yawn, or sigh. And once one of those 3 things happen, turn your head and turn your eyes only and let them look the other way. But your hands are behind your head to help hold it steady, so you can be sure that you're keeping your head still. Yeah. And see if you can do that twice on each side, looking for those feelings. If you're not feeling any of those things, check that your eye is not wandering with each breath. See if you can stay focused on a point way to the side without your head turning. Anyone notice how hard that is to keep your eye on one thing off to the side? They're whistling. Let's see. I think I got it here. Is that better? And you guys, whoever is whistling, don't stop. You keep breathing. I don't think we can hear you now. I think I've fixed it so we don't hear you. So you please keep on breathing. That's more important. Good. All right. So hopefully now you feel lovely and calm. And you've noticed how hard it is to keep your head still or your eyes focused. I want you to let the back of your ribs lengthen up the mat toward your hands. You should feel your ribs in the front end up dropping into your body a little bit. Inhale, release that, and exhale, do that again. Feel your ribs on the mat. Slide up your mat toward your hands. Good. And inhale, release. Exhale. 2 more times. Just working from the back side of you. You'll feel your body literally shift a little bit. You'll probably put a little weight in your feet. Feel them help push those ribs up. Good. And one more. Good. All right, so take that same feeling and lift your chest up off the mat, letting your shoulders come off the mat into bow. Good. Inhale and exhale, let it come down. Good. Inhale, exhale, slide your ribs up your mat towards your fingers and let your chest lift off the mat. Good. And then gently bring that back down. Big inhale, exhale, do it again. Good. That's it, good. And one more time. Good, all right. The next one we'll hold. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, stay lifted. Good. And just breathe for me. Can you picture that idea of the ribs on the mat, the back ribs, sliding up the mat towards your fingertips? Good. Yeah, and notice that your abs will flatten a little bit more. Your neck should get a little bit easier, right? Good. Your arms are taking a little more of the load. Keep breathing. Good. And then lay that back down. Good. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale up into your bow. See if you can start with that idea of those ribs gliding up towards your fingers along the mat. Good. Everybody take another breath. Exhale, lift your chest a little higher. Everybody. Shoulders up. There you go. That's it. Good. Now hold that new height as you lengthen those ribs up your spine, up to your fingertips. Good, Suzanne. I see that. Yes, Eloise, that's better. Good. Good. And then gently lay that back down. Nice. I hope that makes some sense. Keep that same sense of sliding up towards your fingertips as you come up and rotate to back to the center. Slide the ribs up your spine as you rotate to your left. Back to center and down. Good. Inhale, exhale, do it again. We'll do one more set starting to your good. Slide it up. So remember, it's rotation, not side bend. So if you're throwing yourself to the side to rotate, you're actually side bending, right? Rotation happens in the same line as your center line, right? A twist, like wringing out a washcloth. Yeah, good. And then 2 starting to your other side. So we started 2 to the right, we'll start 2 to the left. Yes. So this is why I want this idea of the ribs pulling up the back of you. Let the ribs pull up the back of your spine. Good. Hopefully some of you will notice that it's actually easier. It feels more coordinated in your middle, even though the back of you takes more thought to get those multifidus and rotators to move you in that line. Does that make sense? Thumbs up, thumbs down, so. Yeah, so. Okay, good. Yes, okay, good. Some yes, okay, super. I love it. So, hands behind the head again. Find your ribs sliding up to your fingertips. Lift your chest, keeping that length going up to your hands. Good. And bring your right leg into tabletop. Good. Inhale, put it down. Exhale, left leg into tabletop. Good. I want you to pay attention to, as you lift, do you have the tendency now to contract, to compress? Can you keep that sense of length up the back of your ribs? Yeah, so as you lift this leg, we don't have to contract. We don't have to compress. We can keep reaching the ribs up to the fingertips. Good. Nice. Give me one more on each side. Good. And then come on down. Your PTs would love you doing it that well. Oh my gosh. That looks so nice, you guys. I hope that felt good. Take a nice breath. Exhale again. Ribs sliding up to your fingertips. Good. You can think of it as that feeling as if I came and tried to pull your shirt off from your shirt tag and I pull it up behind your head. Can you picture that? Same feeling. So we're back up in our bow with that same feeling, that shirt tag pull feeling, bringing one leg in a tabletop. Now our challenge, we're going to see if we can keep that length, pulling the ribs away, pulling that shirt tag up behind our head. That's it, good. So the neck is easy, right? The chin is not jammed to the chest. It's gently holding that apple. Good. That's it, good. We can lift our chest a little higher, but keep that rib cage pulling toward our fingers. Keep pulling that shirt tag toward the hands. Good. Last one. Good. And then bring both those legs in, grab hold, and rest. Rest down. Good. Is that making sense? So some of you will notice, oddly and wonderfully, you should be feeling work between your shoulder blades. Anyone feeling any of that? Yay, Nara! Anybody else? Okay, Nara gets the gold star. Franny! Yay, Franny, that's great. Okay, Sheila! Good, okay, good. Okay, we're almost to half the class. All right, so those are all little cues that you can give yourself to lessen the stress on your neck and reorganize yourself into a better, more efficient, less painful way of moving. I hope. So let's extend your legs out on the ground. Get arms up to the sky. Now, if you want, you can challenge yourself to start with your hands behind your head. We're rolling up. And if you start with your hands behind your head, it's the same idea. What happens in this long position if you're pulling that shirt tag past your head? Not forward, but straight up toward the ceiling, right? Or you're pulling your ribs back and toward your fingertips. There's going to be a place where it feels like you can't get up. That's okay. Just release your hands and keep on going. Yeah. So it's very much like that feeling of when we do neck pull, right? Trying to keep the length. Same thing on the way down. If you can keep your ribs sliding up your back towards your fingertips and your throat keeps pulling back to your fingertips. Yeah, very nice. Good. Inhale and exhale. Do it again. Ooh, little cheat. Did you see my little cheat? My elbows wanted to point forward. That was my one stiff spot. That's it. Good. I love how many of you are trying that. And I love that you're listening to where your bits are. So here's my cheat. This is where I had to reach forward and then take my hands back where I have control. And I saw a couple of you do the same thing. Very good. Yeah, good, good. One more time down. So same as normal, right? So the question is, what does it mean when your legs pop up on the way up? It's just like any time we come up, it has to do with requiring more strength from your hams and your glutes. Or by the converse of that is you have too much strength in your hip flexors and not enough in transverse abdominus and hamstring. Yeah. So your tendency is to pull here to get up instead of anchoring here and using those abs to come up. It's a good question. Super common, right? Super, super common. And so to that end, I think we did these guys last week where we pressed our heels down to the mat. We should hopefully be up. I think most of you are. Oh, come. If you're not, come join us. We're going to press our heels into the ground. So pressing your heel into the ground should cause your knee to actually lift from the ground. If you push your heels to the ground and your knee flattens, your power is actually not being pressed from your foot, it's being pressed from your knee, right? So those of you who tend to get knee issues, you're using your quad and not enough posterior chain, right? Especially if in this moment your knee flattens down to the ground. So that's your first check. Arms are going to lift up. We're sitting up tall. We're going to take your left leg and push both heels down as you open that left leg to the side. Good. Bring it back in. Knee should be a little bit bent, right? A little bit bent. Good. Take it to the outside and bring it back in. I am trying to put a hole in my cork floor. I'm pushing so hard down. At the same time, I'm thinking of that shirt tag pulling up, right? My ribs in the back are lifting up as much as possible. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good. That's it. Good. 2 more. Good, because now we're going to add in our C curve. So I'm going to give you the side view. So the opposite arm opens away as we C curve back. Bring it back up. Yep. Pressing still, both feet down as much as we can. So the big thing I want you to be aware of is what is happening behind your knees. If they suddenly lock out and press the back of the knee to the floor, I want you to shake it off, soften that knee. But keep your heel pushing down, yeah? Come again, Nara. It's hard to keep your leg down. Everybody go ahead and come back up tall. Switch sides, staying tall. It's hard to keep your leg down. Like it just wants to bend way up. Too much bend. Like lifting off the ground. I'm not. Yeah. So if you're getting TFL cramping, and I think I saw somebody else, Shelly maybe, was getting this nasty kind out cramping here. It's no fun, right? It's just the nastiest. And so some of that is, again, the posterior chain has to be pulling the whole leg down. All of us are using this muscle, but it is possible to only use this muscle, right? This one plus anterior glute med. So getting the sits bone to pull down, the back of thigh to pull down, the heel to pull down should help minimize that. So if you haven't already added in the C curve to that one, do so. Nara, I'm not sure I answered your question, but I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure that I'm getting your question. That's it. Good. Yeah. All the way up on the front of your sits bones, Suzanne. So make sure you get to home base. There you go. You don't have to lean forward, but you do got to make sure your pelvis comes home. Yeah, pelvis home. Yeah, that's better. Good, good. How are we doing? Yes, I see at least 2 of you needing a break. So here we'll all take one. We'll take one, right? You can grab onto those feet and pull the front of your hip bones forward. Yes. And then Franny, if that's not comfortable, that angle, it actually might feel good to you to do this one. Gently, don't force it open, but it'll feel good to get that nice inner thigh stretch. Okay, so hands to the side. And Franny, can you be on your knees yet? Sort of, sometimes, depends. Okay, all right. Because we're coming onto our hands and we're stepping back into a plank. So again, you can be on forearms. You could be forearms on furniture, hands on the wall, forearms on the wall. You could be on your knees, any combination of those things. We're going to lift the leg, and today we're going to make a leg circle. Slow, lift it up, a little to the outside, back to center. Up, a little to the outside, back to center. So our challenge here is by the time we get to the fourth one, we need to really check that our hips have stayed in line with our shoulders and not, sorry, hip, shoulder, heel. So you're on a diagonal instead of a big table back like this, right? We want to keep that drop. Good. And then let's reverse, do 4 the other way. Pressing into fingers, or if you're on forearms, pushing your fists down. Good. And then after you get those, you can let your knees drop. You can sit in a child's pose. And then you can do 4 the other way. I'm going to just flip around because for some reason it's easier for me to see you when it's the same leg. I don't know why. Thinking like, that's it. Does anybody need a different option? Everyone have something they can figure out they can do here? Nice. Good. Eloise, I'm proud of you, especially when you get those hips up so high. I love that you're getting those hips lower and the ribs in. Yes. You can even drop a little more. Good. Good. And then you can take a nice cat stretch. And then release. Why is reversing harder? Is it the same on both legs? So is it the up and in, or is it the down and in? Oh, well that makes sense. Because on your left side, your body would rather go up and out to catch you from that right side as you step, right? Okay, so everyone can come on down to the mat. We're gonna just let the arms stay to the sky. We're gonna lift the legs into tabletop, and then we're gonna do a tick-tock as far as we can go in tabletop. See if you can lift your hip, keep those knees level, and then use your abs to pull you back to center. Same direction again. My spine minders, remember your legs will slide on each other. And my foot minders, I can't remember if Mary signed up for the replay this morning. But this doesn't affect my foot minders. Good. Yeah, so with your shoulders, I want you to watch your hands. Do they separate open? Can you keep them right over your shoulder socket? Yeah. So you keep your door frame nice and strong. Good. Some of you, once you get your arms set, will cheat by opening your knees. Can you keep those inner thighs together? That's a good. So probably about 5 or so to get them just right before you switch to the other side. Again, my spine movers, make sure your hip lifts enough that your knees stay level. Good. Good. Door frames stay locked in place. Shoulder blades are hugging with those armpits. Good. Good. Yes. So some of you are tricky. When you're doing the replay, watch out. You come back by pushing your shoulders into the mat. You don't actually use your obliques. It's super subtle, and I don't know if I could even show it on the screen, but if I push my shoulder blade in the same side, that swings me around and it uses my back, and I hardly have to use my obliques, right? So just be aware if that's you. Make sure it's coming from your center here. All right, so legs up at tabletop. Up in our bow. One leg out, one leg in. Good. We're going to do single leg stretch. So take a nice breath and exhale, switch. Shh. 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 Good. Good. Now what happens if you remember that idea of your shirt tag? Your ribs sliding up your back from the back of you. The front should just gently turn right on. Good. Good. You got one more each side because we're going into our crisscross. So here we go, crisscross. You can reach. You can elbow, genie elbows, right? Genie box. Hand behind the head. But through it all, can you keep that length and that pure rotation? We're not falling side to side, right? We're staying right down our midline as we rotate the torso. So I'm not coming out here, right? Staying in that rotation spot. Good. Yes. Good. And then come in for a little rest. Okay, I want to do a quick little drill. So we're going to lay down and our arms are going to come over our heads. Know that this is going to be more load. So as you come into bow, right, there's just more work with your arms straight over your head. Yes? And then come back down. If you want a little support, take one hand behind your head and keep reaching long through your spine. So again, feel that back of your ribs reaching up toward your thumbs. Yeah, good. Okay, because now we're gonna make it rotation. So I'm showing first rotation with one hand. I am staying off this supporting hand. Yep, staying off that supporting elbow, and I'm staying down my midline. Yeah, my arms are my framework to help me know where I am in space. So I'm not trying to push myself over. No, I'm trying to get longer, like a narwhal's horn through the water. Yeah, if you're doing that one-handed, make sure you switch and do some the other direction. Does that make sense? Can you feel the difference? So get longer in your rotation. Don't just fall over to the side, my friends. Get longer toward your long arms, right? Yes, better, Suzanne. I saw that. Good. Oh, Judith, you stopped. All right. Very nice. Then everyone go ahead and just stretch your arms out long, stretch your legs out long, feel your space, reach down the back of your thigh bones to your heels, and then gently press your heels down. As you exhale into that, do you feel again this nice hollow? Good. Inhale, and then again exhale. Reach down the back of your legs toward your heels, and then press your heels down. And allow your ribs to fall in. Don't fight it. Let them fall in. Good. One more time. And add in that idea of your back ribs sliding up towards your hands. Some of you will feel your chin want to press more into your collarbones, even though your head is on the ground. It's magic. All right. Right leg comes up to the sky. Reach up for that leg and round up into bow. Scissor legs. Inhale and exhale, switch. Shh. Shh. Good. That's it. Good. So again, what's our theme? Pulling that shirt tag, lengthening the rib cage back. Good. Good. Now slow it down. Dorsiflex. Ah. That's it. For me, that's killer. Right into those calves. Good. Good. One more on each side. Good. Both legs up. Good. Hands behind the head. Good. Lower on the diagonal. So if everyone's hip stays down. Scoop the belly in. Bring it back up to center. Alternate to the other side. Good. Nice inhale. Exhale back to center. Good. Nice inhale as you lower. Good. What happens if you give yourself the length? The legs get lighter. Last one each side. Good. Good. And then bring those knees in all the way down. We're going to do a full spinal bridge. So let's actually start this one with bent knees, because I think that will be an easier transition. And then those of you who need to modify can modify better from this bent knee position. So we're lifting those hips up into a bridge, opening through the front of the hip. And then I want you to dorsiflex your feet. So toes are trying to lift off the ground, right? Ball of foot is off the ground. Start walking your feet away from you. You are going to use your lats here, right? So keep pressing your hands into the ground. And you're going to keep walking those heels away. Dorsiflex, dorsiflex, dorsiflex. Until maybe you have straight legs with your booty off the ground. Should be strong through your glute. Take a breath there. Take a small step in. And another step in. And another one. Keep driving into your feet. Your hips should keep lifting up and up. Good. Once they're all the way back home, put the balls of your feet down. Lift your hips a little higher. And then round all the way down. I kind of ran out of mat, so I'm going to scoot away a little. But I want you to do that same thing again. Make sense? So those of you who don't quite have the strength behind your legs yet, don't feel like you can go, please go where as far as you feel like you can support yourself. That's right, so dorsiflex and then walk. That's it, hold it for a breath. Feel your glutes on, feel your ribs in, right? So really let your ribs drop in, your belly drop in. There you go, good. Keep those hands strong as you step a little bit back in, a little bit back in, a little back in, a little back in. That's it, good. Good, and then once you're home, balls of feet come back down, press those hips up, and round down through your spine. That is the most loveliest moment, is that roll down. All right, so from here we're going to extend those legs out, push ourselves onto our side. Whoop. And we're going to go right into a little clam and side plank. So let's actually start with the side plank first. So the side plank is up, and we're going to reach up and down, right? So I'm starting with the side plank because I want you to squeeze your heels together as you lift the hips up and push your hips forward toward the front of your mat. Yeah? All right, so now we can easily add in that clam. Easily, right? Just open up the thigh. You're already pressing your heels together, and then back down. Yep. Press the heels together. Good. Yeah. As you press your heels together, you're pressing that thigh down into the floor. So if there's anyone who cannot be on their knee here, this is beautiful at a wall. If you take a block or a pillow or a roller and put it between you and the wall, hold it here, press against the wall, and open your arm outward. If you don't have anything, you can see I just put my fist between my thigh. So my thigh is pushing against my fist, I'm opening out, and I'm still getting glutes on both sides. You guys on the mat, hurrah, you're doing awesome. Good, one more. Let's hold that open. All right, take the top leg, kick it out. Good, now we're gonna open our chest to the sky, press that arm down more, the leg comes forward. Good, rotate, it's all rotation today. Leg comes back, we look at the ground. Open the chest to the sky, keep pressing strong through that tricep. Good, rotate toward the ground. Good, good, okay. So I'm gonna show you another view because I want you to be clear that you are not falling forward, right? Again, we're rotating on our axis, right? We're trying to stay in that center line as we come toward the ground. This should make about your fourth one, yes? If it is, come on down, open those legs into mermaid, and then lift up and side stretch. And that should feel good. And you can grab on here, you can grab on here, wherever feels good there. I'm actually pushing down my thigh because that's my bugaboo spot. Yeah. All right, let's swing around, get the other side. Everyone making sense? So we'll start with just the side plank. Right, just to get ourselves in order. So shoulders in the back, hip lifts, it pushes forward, heels are squeezing together. Yeah, good. And then you can bring your arm up if you feel good about that. Good. All right, and then we're going to add in our clam. So all the same rules, right? Hips forward, ribs in, fists strong. Good. Yeah, nice. That's it, press. Good, that was better. I saw that second one, Eloise. Come on, leg, press up, press up, press up. There you go. Good, good. I got one more. All right, so next one we're gonna stay lifted and add our leg and our rotation. So we're up, extend that leg out, bring it forward while we press down into that supporting arm and look to the sky. And then rotate on our axis, looking down to the ground. That's it, press, rotate, good. Rotating on our axis. Good, and if you're feeling poop, put that hip down, but keep on with the leg and the rotation, right? You can still do that. Why not? Good, because we still have one more. Good, and then bring that in. Open those legs into your split mermaid. Come all the way up, and stretch that up and open. Good. How are we doing? Good? Yes? Let's take the hands behind us. We're going to open up our chest a little more. Just in case we started to sink, we're going to have a little tiny table bridge. We're not even going to lift all the way yet. So find those fingertips. Little tiny lift. All we're working on mostly is just getting our door frame strong, right? So the door frame is this space in our arms and across our collarbones. Yeah, so just a little, want you to pull your elbows toward each other, find your shoulder blades on your back, good, and then lengthen your spine a little bit. There you go, good. Fingertips pressing, beautiful. Yeah, isn't that nice? So then if you want to, you can lift your hips up into a big old table bridge, or you can extend out into a low or high reverse plank, right? So low is just a hover, high is all the way up. Yeah, that's it. Hold that for a breath. See if you can work on all the things you've been working on today, which would be hands, arms, shoulder blades, rib reaching up toward the back of your head, allowing the glutes to hold you more. Yeah, and then come on down. Good. Reach forward. And then we'll do it again. If you're feeling so inclined on this round, you can add any kind of leg pull you'd like, whether it's a knee or a full leg, right? Any of those is fine with me in any supported position. That's it, so find those arms. Good. That's it. Good. Yeah. Good. And then come on down for a little rest. Good. Let's fling ourselves, not fling, we'll move ourselves onto our bellies. Nice job, Judith. I saw your leg pulls. Yes, you did. Good. So on our bellies, heels toward each other, but they don't necessarily have to touch. Just aim them at each other. Forehead on the mat. We're going to have some nice little baby swan. So inhale and exhale. Floating that sternum up off your mat. Nice big breath in. And gently bring it down. Big breath. Good, big breath. Fill up your back. Good, then on the next one, add in those hands. That's it, good. Good, that's it, nice. And one more. Good, now as you lower, lift both legs up, letting the thighs come off the mat. You won't lower yourself all the way down. Good. Now see if you can press, keeping your thighs up as long as possible. This is only as far as I can get before I hit my knees, so please don't feel like you're the only one struggling there. Good. And then come back down. See if your legs will lift a little higher. And then press again. See if you can hold them up a little longer. That side, hold back chain. Good. And then float. Good. And then Nara, I want you to keep that idea of the ribs lengthening up to your shirt tag as you lift, because your superpower is your back extension. And what I want is more length out of it. That's it. Good. Good. And one more time, everybody. Good. All right. Come on down. Let your head rest on your hands. Turn it side to side. Just make sure you're not holding any tension you don't need there. And wiggle your shoulders a little bit. Get them back into place. Lift those legs off the ground. Bend your knees. Bring your heels together. Push your heels up a little higher. And then extend your legs out to the corner of your room. Bend them. Pull the heels together. Lift them. Then kick them out to the corners of your room. Add a dorsiflexion. Pull the dorsiflexed heels together. Push those guys up to the sky. And then point the toes out to the corner. Dorsiflex. Bend the knees, pull the heels together. Push up to the sky. Point out to the corners. Dorsiflex. Bend. Press. Point to the corners. Last round. Dorsiflex. Bend the knees. Push, push, push. And then let the legs come resting down. Phew. Yes? Good. Good. Thank goodness. So we're going to take the hands on either side of the shoulders. Let ourselves lift up into a plank. You're welcome to start from your knees and then come into that plank. But we're going to just press back into open pike and lift your tail to the sky. And that should feel good. I want you to think of pushing your mat away with your hands while you try to get your chest closer to your knees. Really try to bring it towards your knees. Good. And then allow yourself to round forward into that full plank again. You're going to feel like your chest is past your fingers a little bit. Scoop your belly up, rounding the spine, then rest back into that open pike position again. So those of you who've been on a reformer, that will feel very much like up stretch. Good. Lift your abs up again. Let them pull you back into the plank. And then extend your spine. Good. Scoop your abs up. Lift them up to the sky. And then rest back in that open pike. That's it. And then this time we'll walk the hands, pushing the mat away from you towards your feet. And then press into your feet and round all the way up. Good. Up high to the sky. We're going to take your right foot behind your left, which would be this way. No, that would be your right behind your left. It would be this way. Now I'm going to do a curtsy in side bend. It's not going to feel quite as fun as when we keep our legs straight because you have to balance. And that's okay. Good. And then come all the way up. Good. Another side. A little balance. Good. First side again. And now I want you to notice, if your inclination is to rotate forward, I want you to open up toward the sky. Balance there so you can keep your weight even. If your inclination is actually to be open, I want you to tug your ribs in and not necessarily rotate to the ground, but make sure those guys are in. You'll be more forward. That's it. Good. And then let's check it out on the other side. So see which way your inclination is. I'm a little bit forward, so I'm going to open up and pull my rib in there. Yeah, nice. Good. All right, and then all the way up. Oh, spine twist. We'll bring those arms up first, and then press out to the sides. Push front, push back. Good. And then same thing the other way. Push front, push back. Good. Good. Do it again. So I'm excited because Sheila and Judith, instead of side bending to make it feel like they're rotating, you guys stayed on your axis. You spiraled straight up. That's awesome. That's so big for your spines. Yes. Come on, straight up, straight up, straight up. Think of that shirt tag being pulled up to the sky. Yeah, good. I love it. Beautiful. And then go ahead and pull that down all the way. Let your head fall to the side. And then forward. And other side. And forward. Good. Press into those feet. Let your abs lift you up. Good. And then just round those shoulders back into place. We'll take 2 more roundings. Good. And then rest. You guys, nice work. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to tell you a little secret. That is the first time I think I've used that cue of the shirt tag in the supine position. I was working with a client this morning and we worked it at the wall and it was great. Well, I usually use it standing. But supine, it worked for her and it looks awesome on you guys. So you might be hearing more of that. Yeah, nice work, you guys. Yeah, thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a good week. I will be here on Monday, so if you're wondering about Labor Day, I will be here next Monday. If you are here, I will be here. All right. Yeah.